Hi, Matt. I'm transgender. I'm born and raised here in New Mexico. I have a graduate degree in information technology, marketing, business, and finance. I own my own home. I pay taxes. I have a six-figure job. I'm a respected professional in Albuquerque.
Nobody cares.
I'm a mother.
No, you're not. You adopted, or you're a father or something like that.
My life experience is that I'm an awesome person. I am well liked. I'm responsible, and I think I'm pretty cool. You touched on something. You said something earlier that for you, when somebody calls you a man, it doesn't faze you because, like, you just know that you're a man. That was interesting to me because I feel the same way about my identity as a woman. My question leading up to this, you've asserted that no one would ever see me as a woman, that nobody would ever see or could see a transgender person as a woman, and yet I have dozens of friends from diverse backgrounds, women from the reservation, a woman from Japan, several immigrant women. I have my coworkers, I have my boss, my VP, my CEO, all respecting me as a woman, my family.
Because they don't want to argue with you. Okay? They want to argue with your delusion.
My long-term friends who are actually here with me. All of these people assure me, like, I'm a woman.
You're not.
Tell me, girl, like, there is no way you are a man. They see me as a woman.
Why?
So the question,
Okay.
how can you assert that nobody would ever see me as a woman when my material experience tells me you're wrong?
Okay. It's interesting that that's the part of my talk you chose to ask a question about, because that's not in my talk at all. I don't believe I said that no one would ever see you as a woman. I mean, it's possible, I suppose, that you could fool someone. Now, you brought this up, so I have to tell you that you brought this up. You've put your identity on the table for conversation. And so I'm going to say you wouldn't fool me at all. I mean, I see a man 100%.
Gotcha, bitch!
And I think that most people would. Now, the fact that you have people in your life who are saying to you, oh, you're totally a woman, it's exactly what I'm talking about. No one in my life has ever once said to me, you're totally a man, Matt. You know, if a friend of mine called me on the phone and said, listen, Matt, I want you to know you're really a man, I would think that there was something wrong with him. I would say, why are you saying that at all? It doesn't make any sense. So the fact that this is a conversation to begin with tells me, it only proves the point that I'm trying to make, that your identity, even in your own mind, is up for, is something that you need to be assured of. Now, what I would like to ask you, again, because you're standing here, and so you've brought your identity on the table for discussion. So how do you know that you're a woman?
It was first when I heard transgender persons describe their experience in their own words, and this was only about 2 years ago. Hearing somebody describe things, it was a woman from, like, England.
So you caught on the bandwagon of the whole trans stuff. You just jumped on the trans train. Get it? I got it.
Describing her experience, her childhood, her teenage years. And it blew my mind to be listening to her, because it was just some podcast that I was listening to while I was, like, doing laundry.
Oh, so, okay. So this is because of social media and podcasts, listening to other people talk about being trans and stuff like that. It's become a trend. That's what all it is. Trans is a trend.
But it blew my mind to hear somebody so
eloquently and precisely describe things that I had experiences that I had experienced. What did they say?
Okay, so I am honestly hesitant. I know that you touched earlier about the difficulty that transgender women might have in describing their identity, but I want to state, I honestly don't feel that you would engage in this conversation in good faith.
In other words, he's not going to pander to her. He's not going to pander to him to make him feel better. and that's it. You're not going to pander to me. You're not going to tell me what I want to hear to make me feel better about myself so I can sleep good at night. So I don't want to have this conversation. You brought it up.
But why are you here? Why did you stand up to talk to me if you don't want to have a conversation? You're saying that you discovered that you're a woman. I'm asking you how you did. That's a very fair question.
Okay.
How do you know that you're a woman?
That's fine. All right. So first of all, listening to transgender people, and it was like, okay, this is a one-off, one person describing these things. Things like looking at yourself in the mirror and not recognizing yourself. Hearing compliments like, you are such an example, like a positive masculine role model. And just hearing that and being like, it feels like they're talking about somebody else.
No, what it is you grew up a different way. Something happened to you in your childhood that made you resent being masculine. You probably had spent too much time with your mom. No one corrected you. That's the problem. We don't have enough parents correcting children. They'll allow, because you got to think, a kid will play with anything. You give a kid, a boy, a little girl, some makeup, they'll play in the makeup. You give them a damn weapon. You give them a knife, a gun, they'll play with it. Kids play with every fucking thing. It doesn't mean, oh, wait a minute, he just picked up the makeup. He's playing with mommy's makeup? Maybe he wants to be a girl. Like, stop that shit.
It means feeling alone, even when you're surrounded by guys, even when you have a lot of friends, and I was active in Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout. I had great masculine role models my whole life, and yet I never felt like I belonged. I felt welcome.
But why does that make you a woman?
Because
as opposed to just a man who doesn't get along with some other men, or a man who's depressed, or a man who doesn't feel at home totally in his body, which, by the way, is a pretty universal human experience. Everybody goes through it at one time or another. So in what way does that make you a woman, though? And it's interesting you're telling me that you listen to the experiences of other transgender people.
Well, yeah.
But what about women?
So
because trans women are women, you would say, right?
I would say that. Yeah.
Exactly the same?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then why do you need to hear the testimony of quote unquote trans women? Like how you pick any actual woman in this room? In what way do you know that you belong in the same category as them?
I know because they tell me. So here was the...
You need them to tell you what you are?
Women. Yes. I trust the opinions of the women around me.
Okay, and they also have menstrual cycles. They can birth children and not just adopt. Damn.
It's incredible. You might try it sometime.
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman, would you say I'm not a woman anymore?
If who?
If most women voted and said they don't see you as a woman anymore, would you then relent and say I'm not a woman?
I would say most people on the planet have no idea who I am. I'm going to trust the opinions of the people who've spent their lives with me.
The people who will tell you anything you want to hear. Okay, yeah, you didn't get the proper guidance growing up, so you became this, in your adolescence years, you became this feminine man. You didn't learn masculinity. No one took you fishing. They didn't teach you how to climb trees and do, boy things, the things that boys do. You probably didn't even play with boys' toys. Okay, but someone put this feminine ideology in your brain and made it seem like this was okay. Someone allowed you to do that. No one corrected you. If I have a son and if I even hear him scream like a little girl, I'll correct that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Boys don't do that. But see, we live in a world now. Well, not even a world. It's a first world problem, especially in the United States. If you even correct your son, if you tell him, no, boys don't play with makeup, boys don't scream, boys don't do that, big boys do this. Okay, that's called guiding your son. It's called guiding your child. When you guide your child, that's considered toxic and abusing the child and shit like that. No, if I allow my kid to get swept up into your ideologies, I failed as a parent.
But you are relying on other people to tell you who you are, is what we're establishing.
For context, I know you like to say, everybody's rah-rahing and supporting transgender people, and yet they're still killing themselves, etc. But I'm standing here in a room full of people applauding you and asking questions like, how can I put out legislation here in New Mexico, my home state I grew up in, to try to reverse transgenderism? I'm not safe. And it
How are you not
wasn't.
safe?
This is the safest time to be trans. Like, it's literally applauded now. Like, if you come out and say that you're a woman, if a man comes out and says he's a woman, all of a sudden he gets endorsement deals. He gets applauded. He gets pats on the back. When a parent transitions their kid, puts them on hormone blockers and shit like that, cuts their twigs and berries off, they get applauded. I'm so proud of you. You're so brave. Stop it.
You just said you're standing in a room with people who disagree with you, and you're perfectly fine. So how are you not safe? Okay, look, we're going round and round. You don't want to answer any of the questions. Maybe we'll end with this because we're talking about womanhood. So people can probably shout out the question I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay.
But you know that you're a woman.
Yes.
What is that?
So gender is a social thing. It only
I don't
makes
want to hear
sense.
that. What is a woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
The word woman, define in the dictionary. Go.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women. If you speak with women,
Circular definition.
that's mine. Whatever.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta stop throwing around this term woman. Okay, we use it so loosely now. It didn't used to be like that. And it's only an American thing. If you go to any other country, go to the Middle East, go to Africa, they don't play that shit. Why is it that only the American or the first world country has this reality of you take any man that presents himself in a feminine way and he can be a woman? Let's stop it, man. Okay, you can either be, if you're born a man, you can be feminine or you can be masculine. It's your choice. Now, some of you don't think it's a choice because you probably learned femininity so early in life that you think that this is who you really are. But no, you just didn't get corrected. Or someone did something to you as a kid, violated you in some type of way, and you never got counseling for it. You just thought that it was normal.